It is a absolute beautiful day in the neighborhood down here in the DFW Metroplex, and sometimes I like to just take a stroll down the side of my house, think, reflect. Just got off the phone with my mom, talk to my mom basically every day, and we have a lot of great conversations. And a lot of the conversations recently has been about parenting. And guys, I just want to tell you guys something. We are supposed to be better versions of our parents. We're supposed to learn from their mistakes in regards to their parenting techniques when it comes to us. And we have to make sure that we do not emulate those same behaviors when it comes to parenting our children. And sometimes they will not understand why we do certain things. And we have to remind them that, hey, the reason why we're doing this is because we know what the effects are, because this is the experience that we experienced when you guys were raising us. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing that is wrong with it is when you repeat those same techniques or those same experiences that you have experienced, it goes against evolution. And that's what I'm all about. Being better, being a better version of myself, being a better version of my parents, and making sure that I don't make those same mistakes. And sometimes your parents will just not get it. They will not understand because they believe that the way that they parent or they parented you made you turn out to be who you are today. And some of that is true. But sometimes the harsh realities of life made us who we are. But we cannot use those bad experiences that we have experienced and continue that cycle when it comes to raising our kids. So make sure, guys, that you do not repeat the same mistakes that your parents made, because you didn't learn from anything if you do that. Tuesday content is coming up right now. Good day, good people. It's AT Malone, the first of my name because the second is already here. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more videos from your boy. Now, it's Tuesday, man. This is my long week. I go to work tomorrow. So if you've been watching the content, you already know. The day before I go to work, it is a busy one. I got to make sure that my house is in order. You see, I'm already clean shaved, everything. I don't look like a wildebeest werewolf looking guy anymore. Meal prep is done. I got to get dinner going as soon as I finish this video. Cars are clean. So we getting everything in order before this work week starts so it can continue to be a smooth one, man. Listen, when you have that reset before your week start, you have to prioritize everything. You do not have a lot of bad weeks if you have these affairs in order. I don't want to focus on cleaning and even cooking. I don't focus on cooking at all because dinner is basically done for the rest of the week. So set yourself up for success. Make sure that you prioritize every single thing, from making sure that your kids are aligned with what you expect for them. Hell, I make sure that my dog is doing what she's supposed to do, right? Guarding, protecting, being happy, all of that good stuff. So that's how my day before work starts, man. I get things done. That way I have a great week. All right, so it is Tuesday, and you already know why we are here. We are on the Richest Man of Babylon saga, and we are on chapter 6. And the title of this chapter is The Gold Lender of Babylon. Now, last week, we talked about Rodan, which is a spear maker, and he went to go seek counsel with Mathan, who is a gold lender. And he went to talk to Mathan about lending money to his sister's husband. And Mathan was telling him stories about how he lent money to certain people, how he made a profit, how he lost money as well. And Mathan is showing him jewelry, coins from his token chest. All right, so we're gonna pick up from where we left off last week. Now, Rodan picks up this heavy bracelet and he asks Mathan how he got it. And Mathan tells him that the owner is a fat old woman and she came to him for a loan for her son so he could become a partner of a caravan. Now, the guy that he partnered with ended up taking the money and taking all of the resources and leaving her son in a city high and dry. So she was unable to pay back the loan because she was thinking about, hey, well, my son is gonna, go trade in different cities and he'll give me the money that I invested in him and then I can pay him back. Did not happen. But Rodan asked, hey, did she even consult with you to ask if it was a good idea to lend this money? And Mathan said, no, she didn't. She already had her mind made up. And this is the thing. You cannot talk some people off of the ledge. People are going to do whatever the hell they want. Do not waste your time trying to convince people on what is in their best interest when you know that their personality will reject everything that you are trying to help them with, give them advice on. People are just going to do whatever the hell they want to do. All right. So some people you just got to analyze and say, look, this person, I could talk to them until I'm blue in the face. They still going to do whatever the hell they want to do. So then Mathan picks up a rope that belonged to a camel trader that he lends to according to his needs. He's a wise trader. He also lends to other traders who operate the same way. And I can relate to this because since I do side print jobs, there are certain customers that I won't even ask for half down because I know that they're good for it. I'll just cover the whole thing and I know that they will pay me back based upon what they do for a living, because a lot of people that I do, my side print jobs for, they're very well off. So I know that, they're successful and it's a reason why they are, and they just pay it back, man. So I can relate to that. So then Mathan picks up a beetle carved in turquoise and tossed it on the floor because the owner does not care to pay back the loan. Now, this guy, he's a young dude, and he keeps making excuses on why he can't pay it back. And that is a problem. Even right now, we have young adults that are bitching and complaining about why they have to pay their student loans back. And I blame the parents because it always starts at home. Parents are supposed to teach their children about credit. They're supposed to teach them about making sure that they pay back what they owe, and we won't have this issue. But you cannot escape your debt. Right now, I just saw on the news that they're about to start garnishing people's wages for student loans, and people are bitching and complaining about it. Number one, that's your fault because you chose to go to college. You chose to take on that debt. But I also blame your parents because they didn't set you up for success. They didn't have a savings account or a 529 account for you. So it's a multitude of reasons why people feel compelled that they don't have to owe anybody. And don't you hate that when people owe you money, they don't want to pay you back and they make all of these excuses? That's why Mathan tossed that turquoise beetle on the floor. It's annoying, right? But he also realizes that, whenever you take out a loan, it could be a contribution to your success because that's how he found his first level of success, by getting a loan. All right. So, Rodan asked him if he should still lend the money to his sister's husband. And also, should he ask his sister's husband what he needs it for? Mathan replies, if he desires to become a merchant, ask him what experiences does he have with trade. Does he know where he can buy things at a lower cost and sell at a fair price? Rodan said he couldn't because he's only helped him out making spears. Guy has zero experience, right? So Mathan replies, no, he has no experience then. He needs to learn the trade first. But if he did have the experience as well as examples of some sort of a success rate, right, then you should, help him out. Well, He also says it's okay to help people in need and to assist them so they can progress, but you do not want to carry their burdens. So he also tells Rodan that he shouldn't lend the gold. He was like, look, man, you work very hard for years accumulating it. You can lend it if you want to, but I just do not suggest it, man. And I'm going to stop right here. I have had people ask me back in the day. Now, and I'll tell you one particular story. A guy that I was cool with years and years ago. I don't even know where the guy's at anymore. We stopped being friends after this. My son's mother was pregnant and I was saving up money, right? And he comes to me. He knows that I'm trying to save up money before my son gets here. And he asked to borrow thousands of dollars from me, knowing the fact that I had a baby on the way. And what he needed it for was a huge ass risk that didn't even seem logical. It seemed like a bad investment. And I told him no. And after that, we stopped being friends. So that lets you know right there, when people that are supposedly your friends in your inner circle, when they ask you for things, number one, not taking into consideration your current circumstance, but two, once you tell them no, you can really see where their loyalty lies and, you know, what they were actually out to get out of you, man. So he asked Rodan this: how long have you been a spear maker? Rodan says 3 years. Mathan asked him, how much have you saved before you got paid that 50 pieces of gold by the king? Rodan says 3. And then Mathan looks at him and he's like, why would you jeopardize 50 years of work lending it out? And he also says, if I were you, I would tell my sister this. I would explain to my sister how hard I worked and labored to accumulate this gold. And if your husband can show me a plan, I will lend him out one piece of gold and we can go from there. And then he also says that, look, I am a gold lender and I have a surplus of gold because I no longer lend to people I'm not confident in paying me back. And he also tells Rodan this. He's like, I have told you the good and bad side of lending gold. Take these lessons so you can learn from it and become as rich as myself. But don't let your gold escape you. And he asked Rodan, would your gold be safe with your sister's husband? Rodan says no. Mathan says, then don't feel obligated to lend it to him, knowing that it will not be secure. And he asks him, what comes after guarding your gold? And Rodan responds, earn more gold. Mathan replies, you're speaking wisdom now. Don't be swayed by people with no experience when they ask you for a loan. Associate yourself with men who are successful with earning using their skill set. This will allow you to avoid misfortunes. Rodan thanks him for the wise advice, also for the stories that Mathan told him with the token box, and then to come back to him if he needs more advice. And at the end of this chapter, it states that Mathan has this quote carved under the lid of his token chest. And it says, better a little caution than a great regret. And that is a great quote, man. We all have certain regrets in life, but don't you guys love the fact that when you're cautious with certain things, like I told you about not lending out thousands of dollars that I probably would have never got back, and it would have put me at a disadvantage whenever my son got here. I was very cautious with that because it could have cost me a lot. So it is better to say no to people, honestly, than to say yes and roll the dice on a bad investment, especially if you work very, very hard for your money, because I know you do. I do. This is why I don't lend out a lot of money to people, because I bust my ass, and you got to be cautious with that, man. So make sure if somebody does ask you for a loan, you need to get, this is 2025, man. You need to get some type of collateral. You need to get some type of skin in the game before you lend your money out. You already know we are at a times of uncertainty, and we got to be very, very cautious and wise with our investments. All right. Well, that is Tuesday content, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click that notification bell for more videos from your boy. I'm out. Peace.